So how do you spiritualize sex and your sexuality? Here's some other ways. One is to think of sex less as a physical act and more as a means, an instrument for expressing love and tenderness for the person that you love and are with. The sages and the wise ones have instructed us that our deepest longing is for union with God. And we may seek that union with other people, thinking that, and it's possible, but we may be looking in another person for what can really only be found in God. And our deepest yearning is for union with God. And if all of this is an expression of God, the material world's an expression of God, but if we just live for pleasure, we can lose or get lost or drawn away, like the prodigal son, from that higher longing and yearning and connection. This is what I understand from some of the sages. Yogananda said it this way: behind every rose bush of pleasure is a rattlesnake of disillusionment. You can, with the physical body, you can experience tremendous pleasure, but if you keep touching the same area on the physical body, it loses its pleasure. That's true with anything in the material world. That I shared before. At one time when I lived in New York before, I loved mangoes, and I just ate mangoes all the time, till eventually I couldn't stand the mango. I didn't want a mango for 10 years, because I just got tired of them. People who are seeking only pleasure and fulfillment through the material world may experience what one sage called anguishing monotony. Anguishing monotony. Is this all there is, God? Is this all there is? And so to look at sex as just having sex, which I have to admit, because of my own education through movies such as Porky's and American Pie and Ridgemont High and all this crazy stuff that I saw as a teenager growing up, I kind of looked at it as just sort of a sex act for many, many years, and I didn't realize until years later that the higher purpose and the deeper fulfillment is when sex is an expression of love and tenderness for the other person. That is the higher expression of sexuality. It's when it's not done just for the pleasure of it. It's not done to manipulate or to control or as a means of power. It's an expression of love and tenderness that one has for the other person. And it can be that. And that's how it becomes spiritualized. Sex becomes more than a physical act, although that's part of it. It becomes a communion and a union in love and expression. The Hendricks, Gay and Kathleen, Katie as he refers to her, they have worked with couples for many, many years, and they've experimented in their own relationships also with each other. And one of the things that they teach couples to ignite love and fulfillment through sexual union is to actually have a spiritual approach. Scientists say that everything is matter, energy, and space. And you and I are matter, energy, and space. We have this physical body through which we experience the pleasures of the world and sense the material world. We also have the energy body, If I were to ask you right now to close your eyes for a moment, you might try that, and just scan your body from the top of your head to the bottoms of your feet, and just notice anything that tells you you're alive. Maybe you feel pulsations of energy. Maybe you feel waves of energy moving through you. What gives you the sense that you're alive? That you're alive. That's an expression of your energy body. The energy, the aliveness that's in you. Your physical body, and yes, you have an energy body. And then we have the space body. The space body, as scientists say, when you look out at the stars, the relative amount of space between the stars is relative in our own bodies. The amount of space in between everything that's in our body, even though we may feel like we're tightly wrapped in a physical body, there's a lot of space in this body. And that you can tune into your space body when you turn within and just notice your awareness, your consciousness, and sense the spaciousness within you. They say that you sense your space body by looking within and seeing how open you feel to being loved and to loving. How open do you feel within yourself to being loved and to loving? Space might be the equivalent of love. Love equals space. When you love someone, you give them space to grow, to unfold, don't you? When you love yourself, you give yourself space to grow, to unfold, without judgment, without criticism, without all the craziness of the judgmental mind. You give yourself space. Tune in to the spaciousness within you. Take a moment, look within, and sense how open am I to feeling loved and to loving. Sense that within you, the energy body is infinite. The spacious body is infinite. And it's all part of you. You're part of it as an expression of God. Material, physical body, an energy body, a space body. Now here's one of the exciting things that the Hendricks talk about and teach. That, the pleasures of the body, as we said, are wonderful, but they're limited. However, the pleasure of the energy body and the space body are infinite. One of the names for God is Satchidananda, which means conscious eternal bliss. Bliss, that you and I can live in bliss. And as the Hendricks say, you can actually experience that bliss in a sexual union with another person. When you are communicating with them, not only physically, but also connecting with their energy and their space body, all in the process. And one of the ways they teach to do that is to become aware of your breathing and to synchronize your breathing with your partner's breathing and to sense those deeper levels of being, which can take you to ever deeper levels of communion and connection, as well as pleasure and bliss.